Well, after that comes where you start to do it, because it's a normal thing to do. And that's where our societies are all heading right now. And it all begins with that negative attitude or that negative phrase that are in this passage here. So go back to Judges Judges 1 verse 19. It said, "And the Lord was with Judah, and he drave out the inhabitants of the islands, but could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley, because they had chariots of iron." All right, so that first statement that you should avoid is "could not." All right, you could not. That goes both directions. Today we're going to run into people that believe they could not be saved because they believe that they've done so wrong or that they've done so bad in their life that God could not save them anymore. And that's where that apathy sets in. They just don't care either way, so they just go about life every single day as if life is life and that's all it is. Well, on the other side of it, we have too many churches all over this world that don't soul win. Because they could not go soul winning because they don't believe they know how. So they don't go. And church after church after church, we go by all these churches, even when we're out walking around, yet we're the only ones out soul winning. Well, why aren't these other churches doing it? Why don't we see hundreds and thousands of Christians out every single day soul winning and telling people about God? Because churches don't feel they can do it. They don't teach their people how to soul win. They don't practice it. So they feel like, oh, I could not lead somebody to the Lord. So they just don't. And they just stop. And that becomes the normal. So you have the lost person feeling they could not get saved. And you have the saved person saying, I could not lead somebody to the Lord. And rather than learning about it and teaching it, it just becomes apathetic. It becomes normal, and they just don't do it. All right, the second statement I want you to see is in verse 21. Verse 21. It says, "In the house of Joseph, they also went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with," "and the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites that inhabited Jerusalem, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem unto this day." The next statement is, did not. All right, because they could not, they did not. All right, so you see, you have this attitude of, I could not lead somebody to the Lord, so you just don't. You did not do it. So that's where our churches are right now, is they did not go soul winning. Therefore, all those lost and dying people going to hell did not get saved. And that attitude of, well, I don't know how, so I'm just not going to do it. That's become a social normal. Rather than taking the effort or the desire or the love in your heart for Jesus Christ and learning how, they just didn't. All right. Now, soul winning is not something that you got saved today and boom, you're miraculously going to go lead thousands of people to the Lord. All right. It takes practice. It takes courage. It takes understanding. It takes a little bit of study. However, it's really not that difficult because there's no special passage you have to use to lead somebody to the Lord. Everybody in here, long before you got saved, probably knew the John 3:16, right? That verse is everywhere. Way before I got saved, I could quote that verse as a little bitty kid. All right? Because you hear it all the time. But you know the entire salvation gospel message is in that one verse. Or all you have to do is say, you know what? I can't show you exactly in the Bible, but let me tell you what happened to me. Just tell them your story if you don't know. So, but it takes courage. It takes getting over that attitude of I could not do it, therefore I did not do it. And getting away with that. So now you have people who could not get saved because they don't feel they're ready or they're good enough. You have Christians who could not lead people to the Lord because of fear or don't care, which led to people did not get saved and Christians did not go soul winning. And that's where we are right now in our world. All right? Now, turn down to verse that we just read, 34, and read it one more time. And the Amorites forced the children of Dan into the mountain, for they would not suffer them to come down to the valley. This is the third phrase. Would not is the most dangerous phrase in the world, because it's understandable that you feel you're not able. And because somebody can teach you. All right? It's understandable if you don't do it out of that fear, because a pastor or somebody from the church or somebody else can encourage you and get you to go. This is the dangerous one. Would not. All right? These are those people that got the gospel but would not accept it. These are the Christians that know to go soul winning. I say Baptists even. Because I think honestly and truthfully, when you look around this world, Baptists are the best soul winners there is. Because you don't see too many other churches out there actually soul winning. Now, you have Jehovah's Witnesses. They go out, they pass out their book, but they don't do soul winning. They're trying to get you to become a Jehovah's Witness. Muslims don't do it at all. They recruit. They recruit by little, messing with your brain. The Mormons send their people out in twos on bicycles and white shirts, and they don't really soul win. Their purpose also is to get you to become a Mormon. Catholics don't do it at all. Catholics rely on the fact that, their mom and dad are Catholic, therefore they're going to be Catholic, right? And that's true in most places. This is the dangerous one. Would not. This is the one that is so dangerous, because that means that not only are you apathetic towards the situation, you actually approve of the situation. You have people that would not get saved or will not get saved. You have Christians that would not go soul winning even though they know they should, because they don't want to. That's kind of where we're headed right now in this world. That's kind of where we're headed. And it all starts with salvation and getting over that. Understand these. Every one of these phrases is a negative attitude. It's a negative attitude. I could not, I will not, and I would not, or I did not, so I would not, or I will not. All right? All those are negative things, right? Negativity will never lead people to the joy of Jesus Christ, will it? You have to be joyful and happy. You have to go out and do it. You have to understand that your love of Jesus Christ will develop a love of people. And therefore, that love of people will get you to want to, can do, and will do. Amen? All right, so avoid those things at all costs. And never let excuses or rebellion be your reason to not serve Jesus Christ and go soul winning. I don't want to go out today. It's hot. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's already like 24,000 degrees outside. It's hot. We're going to sweat. We're going to have to drink water. Probably going to get sweat in our eyes. It's going to burn. It's not going to be exciting. But you know what? We will reap rewards, which are going to be joyful, everlasting, just for doing what we're doing today. So keep that positive attitude, that can-do attitude, all right? And God will reward you for it. Pastor?